motherfucking bag. Stand on the way I make. Sacrificing time for this shit, man, I got a plan. Tried to tell niggas years ago, they ain't understand. Riding by myself and it's cool, I'm all in my head. Everything in life you can't replace, I build relationships. Pretty little smile make a nigga wanna lock it in. We met the same time I lost a friend, we should try again. You been on my mind, you should hop in. I ain't gon' hurt you, baby girl, you know we locked in. Used to be on FaceTime calls on the regular. Never made time, landed on my busy schedule. Now every time I hit the bay, you know I think of you. Working on your brand, love, you know that I...
Yeah, it's Goddess. And I'm a day one type of girl. Ain't nothing wishy-washy over here. I don't jump around, stick to one side. Yeah, the silver, the blue, we got them in their feelings. That star on the field, come pay the D a visit. They say it's hatred, is it? I call it hate and simping. Cause if we wasn't that hating, they wouldn't be in our business. Listen, West Coast say the water tastes better. The fan base go harder, and all the ladies get wetter. Yeah, that's how it is when you straight reppin' for Dallas. We get it in the trap, and landlord tell us what's happening. No explanations in no shape, form, or fashion. When Henny drop the stats, ain't nothing else to be asking. Them numbers don't lie, that's why your argument dry. And we still got them rings, you got your eyes on our prize. Whether an eagle, a giant, or a commando, you in the parking lot crying, we in the Lambo. We stay in our bag, we run it up in the draft. You still talking about the 90s, so who's stuck in the past? Get off me, and I'ma need you 6 feet back. And we ain't hearing nothing till your team beat that. And we ain't scared of running, what you thought we bleed that? It's only one team over here, that's Cowboys, believe that. Yeah, it's you got us, the poet. Big up West Coast Cowboy, HTM Sports, and Landlord from Alabama. Y'all check them boys out. Now don't play around with the Cowboys content. Yeah, and you know it's DC. Yeah, DC4L.
31 teams in the NFL. His system is designed to stop 25 teams.
Shit, I need a linebacker that's over 200 pounds. I need a defensive tackle that you got to pull away from the buffet. He's gone, so no.
Let's talk about that.
But yeah, that's a long part. That's a long part of your
I gotta
team.
make this point because I ain't gonna lie, I forgot about it until you mentioned it. So I gotta get this out before it flees me, and the nation needs to hear this.
And we are live. What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy Henny DeMoore, reporting live from the liquor store, man. And listen, it is Friday, man. I don't know how y'all do it where y'all at, but in black households, Friday is the weekend. I don't give a damn if you work until 8, 9 o'clock at night. Friday is the weekend. The moment your ass is at the crib, parlaying, you know, it's up from there, man. I need to know this in the chat box too. Do you consider Friday the weekend? Because some folks be technical, like, man, you only get Saturday and Sunday. Saturday and Sunday is the weekend, man. You know, like Friday, you still got to go to school and go to work. Nah, nigga, Friday is the weekend. Friday is the weekend. When I say catch me on the weekend, I am including Friday in that shit. But let me know. I don't know. That might just be a me thing. It might just be a me thing. Y'all let me know in the chat box, though, man. Is Friday a part of your weekend, you know, in your mind? Let me know. But salute to everybody sliding into the liquor store right now, though, man. I see my boy Jay Battle, 994 in the building. My brother, 864 Cowboy fan, said Friday the motherfucking weekend for show already. My guy JVB boy. Also, salute to Ant in the building, man. He said it's the weekend. And listen, salute to Ant on the Cash App, man. He's already came in here showing mad love and support and helping keep the lights on. You know, and listen, it's very vital. You know, I know that I push for donations and stuff like that, but it's needed. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna sit here and even fake the phone. We're able to do these shows because of y'all generosity. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate any and everything that y'all people send to the cause, helping us create, you know, content. You know, when we go out and travel and we bring people on the platform and shit like that, it's based off what y'all seeing, man. So I appreciate y'all for supporting the liquor store. Real talk. And listen, remember, we will be doing Cowboys College this week. We're gonna start Cowboys College like Saturday, tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. We're gonna give y'all a week though. We'll show film not this Saturday, but next Saturday. So we're gonna give y'all the 7-day grace period. So if y'all want memberships and y'all want the ability to actually see us show the film, because we won't be able to do that on the main page. You know what I'm saying? We'll do some member-only streams and videos, and we'll show the film for these prospects and stuff. So if y'all want in on that, you know, we're giving you a week in advance. You know what I'm saying? We're giving y'all a week in advance. So go ahead and get memberships now. Right? So first episode of Cowboy College will be on the 31st. We'll be showing film on the 7th. So we're going to give y'all a week in advance to get all your stuff together. And remember, memberships ain't that expensive. It's the same amount as the super chat. Them bitches like $5. You know what I'm saying? So don't miss out on the good content. Make sure you have your membership ready. You know, and we're gonna rock out just like that. But I wanted to let y'all know what was going on, give y'all enough time to get situated on it. And yeah. But we got a lot to discuss today though, man. We got a lot to discuss. We found $131 million. Not in real life, you know what I'm saying? But we did find $131 million the Dallas Cowboys could have to go shopping with during free agency. You know, we got the Senior Bowl that's going on. We got some coaching changes going on. So we're going to discuss a little bit of all that today, man. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, y'all do know the proper procedures, you know, for your leisure. First and foremost, when you come in the liquor store, hit the like button. You know, when the algorithm, the way it works, the more that you like, you know, a video, the more that they actually push it out in front of people. You know what I'm saying? So if you want the liquor store to grow, like the video. It goes a long way in helping your boy out, man. After you get done liking the content, make sure that you hit the share button. Not just because sharing is caring and Granny and them told us about that. But, you know, it's like an open invitation. When you hit the share button, it's inviting people into the liquor store so they can come in here and consume the content with us. You know what I'm saying? So please make sure you hit the like. Please make sure you hit the share. And for the love of God, make sure you slap the shit out of Eagles fan. Because God knows they deserve it, man. They be riding around here eating shit, passing salmonella and herpes around. So yeah, make sure you slap the shit out of Eagles fan. And of course, also, most importantly, you know, no shits and giggles. Make sure you hit that Cash App or hit that Super Chat, man. You know, this is an independent page. I'm an independent content creator. I ain't got no sponsorships. You know what I'm saying? So any and everything that we do over here is based off of your donations and generosity. If you want Henny to travel, it's based off of that. You know, you want us to try to get people onto the show to talk football with us, it's based off of that. So make sure you hit the Cash App and the Super Chats, man, because they go a long way in helping out, you know, your independent content creator. Boom. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and pin that to the top. But let's talk about it, man. And listen, y'all may or may not have seen the show. First and foremost, though, let me know if this shit works. Because last time I tried to come on here and put graphics up, them hoes was not working. So let me know, can y'all see the graphic on the page right now? Let me know if y'all can see the graphic on the page right now. Because they be bullshitting a lot. Let me know in the chat box. Okay. Matter of fact, I'm looking at it myself right now. So the graphics is back working. I'm not sure why they hated us out the last show. But the graphics is back working. Thank God. It's working. All right, look at God. Look at God. They can only hate us out for so long, man. And salute to my guy Suave in the building, man, with the super chat, man. He said, keep up the great work, soldier. Man, I appreciate that, my brother. Thank you for the love and support, man. Ooh, wee. But yeah, man. And listen, if you missed the show, you know, we were in the war room last night. It was me. It was my brother Boss. It was Lou. You know, it was Land. You know, Amp was supposed to have been there too. I don't know what happened to Cuz, but shout out to my brother Amp Sports, man. But we just pretty much went through You know, the books. You know, they said, in the words of Boss Man, it was just going through the refrigerator, you know, and seeing what we had. So, this is all the moves that we all agreed upon doing. Right? And we're just going to go, you know, up top to bottom. We did a Dak Prescott restructure. And remember, when we talk about restructures, hey, salute. It said, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. We'll work on that. Damn, I got it that high? Do I got my shit that high? God damn. You know what? I'm going to finesse it for y'all. I'm going to go and change it. If I got it that high, I'm going to go and change that shit for y'all. Because I didn't realize I was busting y'all head like that. So if it's that high, I'm going to go and change it. So salute, you know, to Queen Cowboy with the cash out. Because I didn't realize I was busting y'all up like that. But I'll look out. I'll drop the price on you. I'll drop the price for y'all. Don't trip. But yeah, man. The Dak restructure was a $30.9 million cap savings. CeeDee Lamb restructure, 19. Tyler Smith restructure, 17.6. And then if you jump down a little bit, the Terrence Steele restructure was $8 million. The Osa restructure was 12. The beautiful thing that we got to remember about restructures, people, we do not have to do anything negotiation-wise to get a restructure done with a player. It is already understood. It's already built into the contract. They already know what the fuck is going on. So when you talk about a restructure, there's no negotiations. You know, there's no haggling. It's already built in. You know, it's just a cap saving lever that's already built into the contract. You know, that's really all it's there for. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to show, hey, you're going to get paid X amount of money in, you know, this and that. You know what I'm saying? You say you don't think they will restructure Steele. They might just flat out cut Steele. You know, they might cut Terrence Steele. And if they cut Terrence Steele post June 1st, it'll be a $14 million cap savings. We came up with the idea to do the restructure on Terrence Steele, you know, just based on something that we would do personally, you know, as a collective, in order so we wouldn't be out here trying to get a damn tackle in the first round. Because we know the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys cannot be trusted when it comes down to, like, drafting tackles and shit. They love doing shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, they will draft a tackle in a heartbeat. They love drafting offensive linemen in the first. So to prevent something like that from happening, you know, or them pitching holding, you know, Nathan Thomas, you know, as a starter on this team next year, we went ahead and we just kept Terrence Steele. And we did the restructure, you know, saved a little bit of cap room while keeping his services, you know. So that was the reasoning behind it. You know, you do stuff like that, you keep the offense together, you keep the continuity, you know, and you end up not having to go out there, you know, and dedicate a first round pick to a tackle, you know. Because I ain't gonna hold you. I prefer, with everything in my heart, you know, not to get an offensive lineman in the first round. That's my preference. I prefer not to get, you know, an offensive lineman with one of our first round picks. I would prefer to go out there and focus on defense, you know, double dip. I would like to clear cap space, go shopping in free agency, get good defensive players in free agency, and, you know, then, you know, I would still double down in the draft and get the best available defenders that I could. You know, whether that being a Mansour Lane, you know, and an Akeem Messador, or you mess around and you're able to get Caleb Downs, you know, and then you're able to backdoor at 20 and get a TJ Parker or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would rather get defensive assets to bolster my team, because that's the weakest unit on my team. Right? So that's the reasoning behind you know, that, and like my boy JVB boy said, restructuring Steele keeps things from getting ugly with Tyler Smith. My boy said, I want that Tyson Jordan. I ain't gonna lie. He's an amazing football player. He's an amazing football player. It's just that with Jordan Tyson, you know what I'm saying? It's just that I'm planning on keeping George Pickens. And there's one football. You know what I'm saying? I'm already have CD Lamb. I'm going to have George Pickens, you know, in a death row contract. I don't really need, you know what I'm saying? I ain't going to even really need Jordan Tyson. Now, I understand if you say, hey, we're going to let George Pickens walk and we're going to pick up Jordan Tyson because he's that kind of football player. You know, he's an excellent route runner. He's a physical guy. He's going to be a perennial 1,000, 1,100, 1,200 yard guy, you know, for at least a decade. That's the kind of player that Jordan Tyson is, especially if you pair him up, you know, with a guy like Dak Prescott. You know, I understand that. But I would prefer, you know, to keep George Pickens. He's already an all-pro caliber wide receiver. You know, a little expensive, but I much rather keep, you know, George Pickens. You know what I'm saying? Because I already know what he is. I don't have to worry about the learning curve. I ain't got to worry about him hitting the rookie wall. None of that other stuff. But let's just go through this list real quick, though. So the Dak Prescott restructured 30.9. We're going to restructure CD Lamb and get another 19 out of that. 17.6 from Tyler Smith with a restructure. Quentin Williams. An extension for Quentin Williams frees up $15.5 million. An extension for Kenny Clark frees up $15.3. So altogether, if you extend Kenny Clark and Quentin Williams, you save about $30.8. You know, Boss went ahead and rounded it up to $31 million. Right? Osa restructured is another $12 million on top of that. The Terrence Steele restructured another $8 million. Cutting Malik Hooker, you save $6.8 million. Cutting Logan Wilson saves $6.5 million. And magically, just like that, because remember, you ain't got to ask permission to cut people either. You're going to make the phone call and tell Malik Hooker, I thank you for your service. We no longer need you. Logan Wilson, you're going to pick up the phone, say the same thing. Thank you for your service. We no longer need you. So there's 5 restructures and 2 cuts. So 7 of these 9 moves, you don't even have to have any kind of negotiations. Because these are 9 moves to create you $131 million in cap space. 7 of the moves, you don't have to even have a negotiation with an agent about this shit. You're going to call and tell Dak that you're going to activate the restructure. You'll call and tell CD Lamb that you activate the restructure. The same thing with Tyler Smith and Osa and Terrence Steele. You're going to call Malik Hooker and tell him good luck. Good luck and take care. You're going to do the same thing for Logan Wilson. So 7 of these 9 moves take no negotiations. And you're sitting at $130 million in open cap space that you can spend to help bolster your team and improve your team. You know what I mean? And I need that. I didn't like Schoon. Yeah. And listen, the only reason why these guys that are on expiring contracts, the only reason I didn't go and just touch their money all willy nilly, you know, the Schoon makers, the Jonathan Mingos, the guys like that, they might end up getting cut anyway, you know, after training camp. You know, when you go through the preseason and you go through the cut downs and shit like that, you'll be dropping a bunch of guys anyway at that point. You know what I'm saying? You need to at least get through training camp and preseason and shit like that with the adequate bodies, because you're gonna have like almost 100 people any damn way. You're gonna have almost 100 people on your roster anyway before roster cut downs and shit. So you might as well keep those bodies around, see if they can contribute, see if any of them have made a jump, you know, or a progression, and worth keeping them around. And if not, you know, when it comes to roster cut downs, then, you know, just send them on their way. But I highly doubt the Dallas Cowboys are going to play their starters in preseason and shit. It's just not something that they do. So since Dak and CeeDee Lamb and everybody else going to be sitting on the sideline with their chains on, parlaying, shooting shit while they out here playing football, you'll need the extra bodies. Because remember, we're not going to be doing a roster cut down right now any goddamn way. So I'll worry about them when it's time for us to worry about them. So they can stay for now. But we already found $131 million. So this is what I need y'all to do. And it's real simple too. It's not like I need y'all in the streets marching with picket signs and tiki torches and shit. Only thing I need y'all to do is if because I'm a pray for them niggas. But if they get up there talking about the pie and how they can't afford it and how they ain't got it and all this other stupid shit, I didn't need y'all to hold their feet to the fire. I need y'all to say no. We can create $131 million in cap space. We can free up $131 million in cap space, and that is before we even talk about the cap increase in 2026. The final cap figures for 2026 have not dropped. They have not dropped at all. You know what I'm saying? The Dallas Cowboys could be getting an extra $20 million in cap space. They could get an extra $25 million in cap space. They could get an extra $30 million in cap space. Like, those figures ain't even dropped yet. We don't even know what we're working with in 2026. Because remember, they're currently almost $40 million in the hole. We can make these cap moves and be about $90 million to the good. Almost $100 million to work with in cap space. Just go from 39.4 in the hole, to having an extra 131. You do the math on that, you still got over $90 million to work with. So even if you were to place the franchise tag on George Pickens and that ate up almost $30 million, you still got damn near $60 million in cap space to work with and go out there and bolster this defense. So I don't want to hear that shit from Jerry Jones and them. You got the money. You really need to be trying to compete right now. There's no guarantees after Dak Prescott is gone that this team will be worth watching or us worth giving a fuck about. You got lucky and found back-to-back all-pro quarterbacks late. Because Tony Romo was a UDFA. Dak Prescott was a fourth-round pick. When you look at the quarterbacks that they were courting and they were open about wanting and liking, like Paxton Lynch and Matt Duggar and Johnny Football and them niggas, you could tell that God is a Cowboys fan. He did not allow them to butcher that shit. He didn't allow that to happen. It said, being older is a positive to me. You're more mature and should learn quicker. COVID allowed every single college player in every single sport an extra year eligibility. I had seen that. What's even sad is how you gonna play around with the league's money. Yeah, it's not even your money, Jerry. Like, listen, the only thing, and I want us as fans to understand this. The only thing, that cap is here for, the only thing that the cap is here for is to pay your players. That is it. You can't go and reinvest this money and no shit like that. That shit is here to just pay players, nigga. Oh, it definitely was luck. It was luck. Because they fought the idea of both players. Go back and look at your research. Go do your research about how it transpired in them getting Tony Romo and how it transpired in them getting Dak Prescott. Do your research. Because they didn't want either one of them. Sean Payton stood on the table for Tony Romo. Let's go down to history. Sean Payton stood on the table for Tony Romo. And then Dak Prescott Jason Garrett begged that nigga. Jason Garrett begged them niggas with tears in his eyes. Please let me get Dak Prescott. They didn't see it. Jerry and them didn't see it. Because it was our quarterback's coach at the time, and it was Jason Garrett that made the push out there to go out and get Dak Prescott. So I don't give people credit for getting lucky. I just don't. Maybe it's a character flaw on my behalf. But I don't give folks credit. You went against the grain. You know what I'm saying? You went against the grain and you just happened to be right this time. Like you didn't want them. Matter of fact, when you drafted Dak Prescott in the 4th round, he wasn't even your first 4th round pick. You took Charles Tapper first. That's how little you thought of Dak Prescott. Matter of fact, in the 4th round, you were trying to target Connor Cook. You were trying to target Connor Cook in the 4th round, man. And it just so happened he wasn't there. So I don't be giving them fools, credit for haphazard shit. You know what I'm saying? Like there was no rhyme or reason for the way that shit played out. Damn, Joe. Hey, Joe, refresh your stuff, man. They saying they can actually see the Henny this time. They saying they can actually see me this time, man. Thank you, bro. Exactly, Willie. Sean Payton, all that is true. Yeah, Dak is the lone survivor of the Garrett era. Best thing, that really might be the best thing that Jason Garrett ever did. Help you find Dak Prescott. He said there was a linebacker I called in the boss show about who was 24. He played in the Pac-12. He was supposedly the son of some guy who was a gangster. Huh. When you figure out the name, let me know. Because that intrigued me. But now that we done talking about the cap space, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to hear anything about them niggas not having money. They got money. They got money. There are changes coming to the Dallas Cowboys coaching staff. Now, we already know who was out. Andre Curtis, David Overstreet, Dave Bagunzi. Our former defensive line coach, White Cotton, gone, right? We know that they clean house. But who are they bringing in? One person in the deal is already done, by the way, Ryan Smith. Ryan Smith is he was before he took this job because he's the defensive back coach over here now. He was the defensive backs coach for the Arizona Cardinals this last year. Oh, okay, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, Big U son, Henley, played for the Chargers. Yeah. Big U from 60s. I know what you're talking about. And to your point, they had money last year and they didn't spend it. So we're going to be on their ass this year even more. We're going to be on their ass this year even more to make sure that they spend this shit. But yes, Ryan Smith, deal is done. He is currently the Dallas Cowboys defensive backs coach. Baltimore defensive coordinator Zach Orr. He interviewed for the linebacking coach gig over here. And then we got former Colorado, defensive coordinator Robert Livingston, who coached safeties with the Bengals. Now, I'm going to tell y'all how I feel about this shit. I'm going to tell you how I feel about it. Especially with the Zach Orr situation. I would sign Zach Orr to be the linebackers coach because y'all got to remember what we said about how we can empower Christian Parker and help him out along the way. A guy like Christian Parker, who ain't never called plays before, he's going to need an all-star staff around him. He's going to need guys that have been head coaches before, have been defensive coordinators before, have been, you know, in positions of power to help lead him on. Zach Orr, you can say what you want about the Baltimore Ravens and his stint there. You know what I'm saying? You can say what you want about it. But he had back-to-back years of coordinating a team that gave up under 24 points a game. They were a top 10 defense his first year. Right? They were a top run defense both years he was there. They were 10th in run defense last year, and then they were the number 1 run defense his first year there. So I'm not sitting here acting like Zach Orr was the world's best defensive coordinator and he has no sins and there was no wrongs or anything else like that. I'm not sitting here saying that. But what I am going to say is this. Zach Orr on this staff as a linebacker coach, him being a former all-pro linebacker himself, him being a former defensive coordinator, shit like that pays dividends, you know, when you have a young defensive coordinator. Shit like that pays dividends because now he can pick his brain. Christian Parker can pick his brain. He can talk to him about, you know, how situations played out when he was the defensive coordinator. You know what I'm saying? He can talk through situations as they arise. You know, same thing with Robert Livingston. I know it was at the collegiate level, but he was also a defensive coordinator. You know, he's somebody that has a well of knowledge that can be tapped into. And let's keep it 1,000. If we keep these guys long term, we keep Zach Orr the 2 or 3 years, right, that Christian Parker is planning to be here. We keep Robert Livingston the 2 or 3 years that Christian Parker is expected to be here. At that point, you have a concession plan. If Christian Parker really is this maestro and he's turning the defense around and he's going to get a head coaching job soon, right? And he's not going to be the long-term guy in Dallas. You will have people on the staff up underneath him that we can elevate to that defensive coordinator role. Whether it be Zach Orr, whether it be Robert Livingston. They can be here growing, learning with Christian Parker the entirety of this run. And if Zach Orr, you know, continues to develop and earns it, he could be your next defensive coordinator, having spent 2 years under Christian Parker. Or let's say Zach Orr gets a DC job somewhere else and leaves. Robert Livingston, at that point, could be elevated, and he could become the defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys when he leaves. You know, when Christian Parker leaves. Because it's not about if he's going to leave. It's when. And listen, none of these guys are old. Robert Livingston is 40. He is 40 exactly. Zach Orr is in his early 30s. Zach Orr is like 33 or some shit like that. I think Zach Orr might be younger than Christian Parker. Yeah, Zach Orr is only 33 years old. Like in an alternate timeline, if Zach Orr stayed healthy, Zach Orr is still playing linebacker in the National Football League. Yeah, Zach Orr is a year younger than Christian Parker. So point being, man, I like it because these guys are young and they have defensive coordinator pedigree. So they can help a young guy like Christian Parker who ain't never called plays before. They can be his support system. And then Christian Parker, who will eventually be a head coach somewhere, once he calls it a career in Dallas, we can elevate one of these guys. So I don't mind that. My boy said cheap is the continuity of the Dallas Cowboys. Unfortunately, we know who we deal with. We know that Jerry Jones and them are pretty much risk adverse. They don't do a lot of willing and dealing like we want them to. But you know, desperate times call for desperate measures. We realistically, and I keep harping on this, you got about 3 years of him. You got like 3 years of Dak Prescott. What's up, Dwayne Morris? Thank you for tapping in and showing love. Appreciate you for sliding in and rocking with us. Should we go draft Emmitt Smith's son as our running back? Hell no. Only thing that boy got is his daddy name. He got his daddy last name. He ain't got none of his daddy ability, size, you know, none of that shit. I'm cool on that. I don't need another story. You know what I'm saying? I don't need another story. When we signed Deuce Vaughn, that was a story. Because he was an undersized, incy-wincy ass running back that paid no dividends for the Dallas Cowboys. Emmitt Smith's son would be a story. I don't give a fuck about no story. I want good football players. And that boy ain't no good football player. He might be able to get into coaching. His daddy might got a business put up for him somewhere. You know what I'm saying? He can take over one of them construction gigs his daddy got. But I don't want a story, man. I want a good football player on my team. More power to the young man. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want that shit. No. If he was good at football, cool. But just like y'all shouldn't want me, you know what I'm saying? If Henny DeMoore had an opportunity to join the Dallas Cowboys, y'all should not walk my bad body ass out there. My legs hurt right the fuck now. It's a good story that a YouTuber made the team. But you should want good football players, man. You should want good football players. I don't want no stories. You know what I'm saying? More power to EJ. But no, I'm good on that. I'm good. For real. That shit is like a Hallmark movie or something. Underestimated running back joins his daddy franchise and makes the team and shit, and he make a tackle on special teams and they carry him off the field like Rudy and shit. Nah, fuck that. Fuck that. He ain't better than none of the running backs on my team. And y'all niggas know. What's up with your KC Smack Talk? Thank you for sliding in and showing love, man. Thank you for coming in and showing love, man. How you been? Yeah, he said fans had Larry Allen's son in the hall simply because of who his dad is. Man, some second generation stars ain't cut like their parents, man. You know? Like, you got some bloodlines where every single one of them motherfuckers gangster. You know what I'm saying? Like the Watt bloodline. Like, that's a good ass bloodline. Like, all them motherfuckers been hooping. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just might not be, you know, what it is for the Smith bloodline. Like, Emmitt Smith is a 1-on-1. There's no genetics and no, unless they clone this man, you know, ain't for me no other Emmitt Smith. Keep thriving, man. Keep thriving and keep pushing. Inbox me, man. We can do something like the off season is here. We can do some content of some stuff, man. Hit me on the DMs on Twitter, man. Hit me on the DMs on Twitter, man. We can do some content. The Matthews bloodline, yeah. Yeah, there's some bloodlines out there that been, you know, that has continued to put out, you know, good stock. The Mannings, the Matthew bloodline. We don't even know if the Sanders bloodline is gangster like that yet. You know, Deion was the best cornerback, might be the best defensive player ever. You know, some people might argue that Deion is the GOAT football player. It depends on who you talk to, right? There are arguments. I understand it. I don't even know if Shador is a good football player yet. I know he got the Pro Bowl nod, but the man had more interceptions than touchdown passes. Yeah, the McCaffreys. Because his daddy was hard. His brother is okay. And Christian McCaffrey might be a Hall of Famer. But yeah, the McCaffrey bloodline is pretty damn good. But yeah, man, like, nah. I don't want a good story. No more good stories, man. I want good football players. Nothing more, nothing less. Alright, so let's continue, dog. Matter of fact, I need to build this plane. Because I had some other graphics in here. Yeah, I saw that he played for the Browns. And I saw that I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna wait before I have a thought on Shador. Because I liked Shador coming out. You know what I'm saying? But I can't sit here and act like Shador is playing like Tom Brady or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And listen, he's a rookie. He's a 5th round rookie. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like hold on. I'm trying to add this shit in here real quick. Sometimes you gotta build planes while they in the air, man. I know y'all done heard that before, but you know. It's realer than real sometimes. That shit realer than real sometimes. It said Browns are the worst organization. Well, yeah, they are a worse organization than the Dallas Cowboys. I think you might have to actively try to be that bad, but you know. Man, listen, the Browns need Jesus. Also, salute to Miss Pam for the Cash App. I thank you for the support. Thank you for the gift. That's love right there. I appreciate you. Hold on, let me get this loaded in real quick. Load this graphic in. Because this plays into what we talked about, you know, clearing 131 million in cap space. Hold on. My nigga said the problem with Shador is that he was a rookie. They waited too late to invest in, and now they have a coaching change, and he's going to have issues because the new coach didn't pick him. It's a possibility. But you know, sometimes, man, talent shines through. So listen, let's have a conversation. These are pending free agents for the Dallas Cowboys. We got everybody's favorite linebacker, Kenneth Murray. Everybody favoring starting safety, Donovan Wilson. Jack Sanborn. Dante Fowler, OG to Davion Clowney, Sam the Slam Williams, CJ Goodwin, future Hall of Fame cornerback, Wanye Thomas, Josh Butler, and Reddy Stewart. Out of these names that we have right here, in regards to these pending free agents for the Dallas Cowboys, are we bringing anybody back? Matter of fact, I'm going to make this shit hard for y'all. Are we bringing anybody back not named Jadeveon Clowney? How about that? Because that's going to be the easy one. Because I'm pretty damn sure that Jadeveon Clowney will be a Dallas Cowboy next year. But is anybody else on this graphic worth bringing back? Do you think Dante Fowler, with an off season to get healthy, is worth bringing back for a low contract? Do you think Sam Williams, because remember, he had an ACL the year prior. Nobody is ever the same the first year after the ACL. Do you think that Sam Williams will be better, being a complete year removed from the ACL injury? Josh Butler, right, was injured all this year. You saw only a handful of snaps from him. Is he worth bringing back, for cornerback depth? Same with Reddy Stewart. Matter of fact, I'm gonna hold y'all feet to the fire. Y'all gotta select one person on this motherfucker not named Jadeveon Clowney. We gonna act like Jadeveon Clowney already a Dallas Cowboy. You gotta select one name from this motherfucker not named Jadeveon Clowney. All right, Fargo said Dante, Fowler, and Wilson. My boy Dwayne Harris said Clowney and or Fowler. My boy Devin said Sam gonna be dumb cheap. I'm pretty sure he'll be cheap. JVB boy said he's not bringing migraines back. Cause see, this is the thing when it comes down to team building. We're going to have to pay some cheap people. They're gonna have to be a couple fringe rosterable guys that make the team. Cause we can't go all superstars. You know what I'm saying? We got to fill the roster out. We're gonna have 50 plus people on this motherfucker, and we won't be able to just have amazing players, from top to bottom. You're gonna try. You're gonna try what you can to have good depth. But when you talk about depth, Sam Williams is a former second round pick. Dante Fowler is basically a former lottery pick. He was a top 10 pick, if I'm not mistaken. Dante was. He's only a year removed from having double-digit sacks. I don't know what happened to him over here, but with the Washington Commanders, he had 10.5 sacks. And I'm not willing just this moment in time. Because me and Landlord working on the book woke up sorry. I'm not willing to say that he woke up sorry just yet. Not yet. Yeah, Sam Williams is healthy because he ran like a 4.44, at the combine. You know what I'm saying? There were drills where he beat Michael Parsons off the ball, for get off, for the little get off drills and shit. So I'm not saying that Sam is going to be this all world pass rusher and no shit like that. But the last time that Sam was healthy, he was a 4.5, damn near 5 sack guy. You know what I'm saying? He was somebody that was a good rotational piece. And I still think he can be that. I still think that he can possibly be there for you. Same with Dante. And we're a team that's already desperate for edge help. So if I had to pick two personally, I'm either picking Jadeveon Clowney and Dante or Jadeveon Clowney and Sam Williams. But everything else, you know, I might even let y'all talk me into Josh Butler or Reddy Stewart. But Kenneth Murray got to get the fuck on. Donovan Wilson got to get the fuck on. Jack Sanborn name. Like, Jack Sanborn got a gangsta-ass name. But he is not a gangster football player. Like, Jack Sanborn sound like a action hero or some shit. He don't play like it. CJ Goodwin. Ain't nothing special about our special teams. We ain't good enough to have no damn specialists on this team. So that's how I see it. You're desperate at edge. You might need to bring some edge help back. Because last time I checked, the only pass rushers under contract were Donovan Izaraku and James Houston. James Houston and Eazy-E are the only two edges you have under contract. Remember, brother Marshawn passed away. Dante Fowler's a free agent. You know he would like the 10th alternate. You know what I'm saying? The same way. Do you remember when the Baltimore Ravens backup quarterback got a Pro Bowl nod, Snoop Huntley? Everybody else had to turn it down. Josh Allen had surgery. Bo Nix broke his leg. He had surgery. Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL. He had surgery. Lamar Jackson was hurt. He's not going to participate. We know that Justin Herbert played through a broken hand this entire time. He's not going to go out there to the Pro Bowl. So, like, everybody's hurt. Everybody hurt and turned down the nod. You know, that what happens sometimes. It'll come down to, like, hey, the quarterbacks have been beat to shit and they're not trying. They asked these guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, they asked Justin Herbert. They asked, Sunshine with the Jacksonville Jaguars. They don't want to fucking go. You know what I mean? So when it happens like that and you have veteran quarterbacks that are nursing injuries and stuff like that, they're not trying to go to the Pro Bowl, dog. The only people that want to go to the Pro Bowl are young niggas for the most part. Or you might have situations where quarterbacks are new fathers, or their kids are old enough to appreciate it, and they go ahead and accept the nod and bring their family out and shit. You know what I'm saying? But the quarterbacks aren't just dying to go out there to the Pro Bowl. Like, guys who haven't been before and shit like that, cool. Like, they'll accept Pro Bowl nods. But most veteran quarterbacks, especially the ones that are nursing injuries or need procedures, they're not trying to put that shit off just to go to the Pro Bowl. In an ideal world, what a quarterback wants, they want to make the Pro Bowl nod the first time around. They want to be the first selection so they can turn that shit down and it still go on their resume. You know what I mean? They want to be the first one selected into the Pro Bowl. And then, when they turn it down a couple weeks later, it's still on their resume that they were a Pro Bowl quarterback. They don't want to be in the second batch and shit where I got to actually attend the motherfucker to get it. That's not what they want. Not what they want at all. It said Eberflus made people look sorry. Fuck Eberflus. I'm so glad that nigga gone. He said Kalavon Chazen will be our big name signing in free agency. As long as he doesn't cost an exorbitant amount of money, I'm fine with that. Do y'all remember when we almost drafted him over CeeDee Lamb? Do you remember that fuckery? He said, I'm going to be keeping my eyes open for some players on the XFL to see what they got, just maybe. Listen, the Dallas Cowboys are going to do that anyway. You're not in the wrong if you're eyeing, if you're eyeing the XFL. Because I am sure there will be a XFL player or 2 or 3 that gets a camp invite from the Dallas Cowboys. They love going to the XFL. They've hit on XFL guys plenty of times before. So they're going to keep going to that well until it dries up. You know what I mean? All right. But salute to everybody sliding in, man. Appreciate y'all for rocking. It's been about an hour. Normally I say if you pay, I will stay, but I got some stuff that I need to wrap up. What I will do, however, is I will be going live, in a couple of hours. To mitigate the fact that I'm not going to do a 3-hour show right this very second, I will be live in a couple of hours with my brother Landlord. You know what I'm saying? So we'll come back. We'll do another show. I have some nice shit built for us, and we'll rock out just like that. So on the way out, make sure that y'all please hit that like button. Make sure that y'all please hit that share if you care. Make sure you slap the shit out of an Eagles fan, man. And, make sure that y'all hit the Cash App and the Super Chats with a couple buzzer beaters, man. It goes a long way helping your boy continue to make content and keep the lights on in the liquor store. But I appreciate y'all for everything. Thank y'all for tapping in. He said Mary Ruth's oil and oregano will knock all that out. It's on Amazon. I'm going to check that shit out too. Because niggas need all the home remedies they can get. You know what I'm saying? I've been fighting this cold and I don't have a fever or no shit like that anymore. I just have like congestion and shit now. You know what I'm saying? But I thank y'all for everything. Thank y'all for supporting. And I will see y'all shortly, man. Peace, God bless, and in the words of my brother Wes, never look down because the star is up.